So this next section is going to be called Voxel Reactors in U, to be able to create something that is perfect for what you're wanting to do with a single voxel. And it's going to be a little time consuming because there's a lot of parts to this. The voxel reactors are a way to manipulate a single voxel into the shape and the form that you're wanting to create. Okay? Yeah. Voxel reactors in EU. EU. EWE. All right. So, and I've kind of set up pretty much the three basic reactors that you can create here, and these are pretty much the points, because what you're dealing with is a 3x3. And let me bring this up so you can actually see this point. Now, if you look at this 3x3 box, think of that center point that merges with this, and this. And that voxel that would be in the center of it, let me bring that up. Hopefully I can get this thing lined up right. There we go. We have that center voxel that would be inside of that 3x3. And a single voxel makes contact with 26 faces. A single voxel has 8 sides in the process. Okay, so, and if you manipulate this voxel, it actually pulls from all those different other faces. So if you push in one, another voxel has to push out inside of this 3x3 space. And if I click my checkbox here, the various different combinations that you can have around it to be able to manipulate that one individual voxel is pretty much these basic shapes right here that I have on the floor. Or a mixture of this one with this one, or this one with that one with this one, or that one with this one. So you're being able to swap one out with another and be able to manipulate those different voxel corners to manipulate the center voxel. All right, so let's start out with the basic one first, which is the one in each corner of a 3x3. And I'm going to move it twice and click, so we literally have a space like this. And the voxel that I want to actually manipulate would be the voxel that's in the center. So if I put one in there, like so, that would be the voxel that we're actually going to manipulate. And basically I can replace one of these corner voxels to basically shape that center one to do something different. And for this I've set up 4 little voxels, and this one I'm going to smooth it once. For this one I'm going to smooth it twice, and this one I'm going to smooth it 3 times. And I'm going to leave that last one the way it is, just for putting it back the way it was. Now I can take that first one. If I want this voxel here for this corner that my mouse is at right now, right here, if I wanted to pull that corner up into the space of this one right here, I could take a standard microvoxel, which I have created by using the smooth tool, and I'm going to select this and copy it. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to replace that corner voxel with that first microvoxel that I pasted there. And you can see it pulled that corner all the way up like this, and literally pulled it up into that space. And I have no clue what that sound was. So, that's what it was. My timer for my raffle just ended. And, but, that totally threw me off now. But by using a microvoxel, I can take that corner, I can pull it up into that other space. Now say that angle, I wanted to move it in one direction or another. Well, that's where voxel libraries kind of come into play, because we've already people have already created these libraries to be able to manipulate like one little thing, one little movement this way, one little movement this way, up, down, left, right, in all the different directions, and we can use the voxel libraries to do that. Now, the way this one little corner is, I've already pulled it out just a little bit with just one smooth, my smooth tool. And the smaller I get with the microvoxel into that corner, let's bring the next level one in here. And I paste that one in. You can see I made that angle a little bit sharper going up into the center of that voxel space. And as we continue down that line, I can basically just rinse and repeat that all the way with the smaller voxel, and you see it jumped out just a little bit more to that little space. Now the smaller I get that, the sharper that edge is going to get into that corner. Now I can replace all these corners with these microvoxels, and I can start forming up a totally new shape. And this is how you make a megavoxel, is by replacing each one of those corners with the microvoxels. So basically megavoxels are a derivative of using the microvoxels on a standard voxel, because it literally pulls it out into that outside space. And I can bring this into each one of the corners and pull this out. So now I have this huge voxel that I can play around with. But it only takes up one voxel space. So I'll paste that over here. So now I have this huge block. Now, say I wanted to manipulate this even further, and like I said before, that's when you start playing around with these libraries. And these libraries are actually kind of cool because they have pretty much all the possible movements that you could possibly do with a voxel. And when you're looking at these libraries, you can see that most of the time they have like this little offset in one direction or the other. And for this one right here, it's offset this way. And they work in two different directions. If I took this one, I pasted it here, you can see it pulled it out into that pretty much 0 point for that edge of the voxel. But if I take it and I put it on the opposing side, it pushes it in. So each one of them, each one in that particular library has multiple uses. It's either a push or a pull. And we can also rotate that that voxel and get another type of a movement when it's a little bit to the left or to the right. And as you can see, this right here pushed it out this way. And let me bring this over here. If I can get that back into position. And if I rotate it in this direction, rotate again, rotate again. So I've got all these different movements and just by rotating it around like this. Now, oh, one other direction I forgot to do. Let's get that back where it was before. If I hit my V key in the up and down direction, you can see you have a push up and push down effect. It was already in the push up. So I can literally push and pull in this direction as well. And depending on which one I'm actually using, I can get a different effect. If I come over here and grab, say, one that's on this end of the spectrum, because you have the big ones over here and you have the smaller ones over here. Let's grab one from this side. We can similarly get a similar effect with this. There we go. Hit a V, push it down, push it up, rotate. In each direction, it's just slight little minor little movements all the way around. And just by playing with that, with these various different shapes and the direction that you're actually using them, you can actually mold a given voxel into exactly the shape that you're looking for. Okay? Now, that's just using that first one. You can do the same thing with these other variations as well. And I'll go ahead and lay out a few of those here. So there's one. And don't worry, I'll get to it. I'll get to that raffle in a minute. So we can start manipulating it in this fashion as well. And so let's go ahead and set this up. And I'll go ahead and set up the third one as well. Copy that one and paste it. So you can see the different ways of setting up these different voxel reactors. And like I said, you can take one of these little pieces out of this library and you can start manipulating these voxels as such. Give me a moment here while I get these things into place. you can see just by using that single variation out of this this library, I can sit here and start making all these really cool funky shapes just by playing around with the actual voxel libraries and the voxel reactors. And here in a moment I'll show you how we can fix a bad voxel by using these voxel reactors as well, because this right here is basically making custom shapes using the libraries and microvoxels. Now we have like all these variant shapes and stuff that we're creating, and we still have that bad voxel that we pulled out of that angle earlier. So let's go ahead and set up a reactor, and we're going to set up 2 of them. And now this was our bad angle that we pulled out of that 45 degree while ago. We'll take this, we'll copy it, and we can paste this in right there into the center, and you'll be able to see what kind of a shape we have to go by. We have this one good side angle here, and we have this one good corner here. And if you notice, this particular corner has pulled from this side all the way up to that side. I know that's probably hard to see. Let's see if we can color that up. And that probably wasn't the best idea either. So let's go with a glowing color. Hopefully you can see that better. You can see it's kind of distorted on that back end. Now to fix this, we can take this top one, copy it, paste it, and then the up and down direction here, I'm going to hit my V key to mirror it, bring this over, and replace this one right here, and that should put our 45 degree angle back to looking like a voxel that we can work with. So now we have pretty much a true 45 degree angle there, and we can copy that, and we pulled it from right here earlier, so all we got to do now is come in there, paste it in, and that should fix that corner piece now. Now, let's see. Oh yes, this was the other thing I had set up for you guys. We have this. We have a circle. I have created a circle, or I have gotten a circle somewhere on my claim, and I created it. It was perfect. I started working on something, and then all of a sudden my game crashed. And I got back in, and I couldn't fix what it is I screwed up. Alright? And I have this here. As long as I have this one good side, I can correct the bad side, which is over here. I can take that reactor, let's grab this one, which is one of the bad voxels I have right here. Let's paint it so we can actually see it compared to the rest of it. You see I have one good side and I have one bad side here. We're going to select that. I'm going to copy it, and let's take it over to one of our reactors and let's throw it in there. Okay, we pasted that in there, and we know that this is the good side and this side is the bad side. Knowing that, I can duplicate this side onto that side using the reactor. I can grab this one, copy it, paste it, tab it into the direction that I want to mirror it in, mirror, drag it over to the other side, drop it down, and paste. And what that's going to do is mirror that exactly onto the other side, so it pretty much puts that voxel back to the way it was. Now I can come here, I can copy that one out, come back over, and I'm going to paste it in place of this one that's sitting right here. Paste. Alright, well, we fixed one. I still got some bad ones in there.